right.
Now we're good.
If you missed us last week, we're going to cover a couple of the same things that we did last week, only because today what we're going to talk about is some of the common issues that we are hearing from the field that are coming into support, IX support, and also some of the things DebtBox is seeing on their side being reported by the users. So our goal is to make this process as easy and painless for each person. So we will keep covering this as much as you guys want, but we want to make this easy for you. So we're going to start off today as, one of the common issues still is users not being able to log into their DebtBox account. Now, this can be created multiple ways, meaning that there was a DebtBox account created directly on the DebtBox side, which means it's not connected to IX in any way, shape, or form, which means you will never see your license or potentially be able to log in on what you've done. So what we're going to show today, we're going to show, at least right now, Paul's going to log in as a user that's never created a DebtBox account. And we're going to show you the process that you should be using to create your DebtBox account from the back end.
I am in.
Okay, so Paul's back in the Academy, and from there he's going to click on My Products, or go to My Products.
The
down one.
Sorry, this one.
No.
Oh, go. No, sorry. Go. Sorry.
Right there, you go.
Sorry.
I could see it. I just couldn't do it. Okay. Oh, that's weird. I'm not sure why that pushed you over there to log in.
There. Whatever.
But
I'm here.
Normally this was an account we just created this morning as a test account. So normally this would take you right to this back end. So ignore that extra step. You should not have to log in again. From there, click on XNode account. And since it's your first time, it's going to pop up the terms and conditions. And now I want to point this out because there's been reports of people saying, I can't create my DebtBox account, when in reality, their DebtBox account has already been created. So if you look up in the upper right-hand corner where it says the name, Luke Epps, and it says the username, Luke Test, underneath that, if you already had a DebtBox account and maybe have just forgotten because you created it way back in April, it would be right under the Luke Test 6. It would show up right there with your DebtBox account, whatever your DebtBox ID is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. So we can see that this account does not have a DebtBox account created. So what Paul's going to do is click on create your DebtBox account. There's another pop-up here that's basically, right, we're telling you, don't share your password, don't give anybody your 2FA, anything. So read that and then you'll click continue. Now, all you have to do is choose your password. In this case, since it's a brand new account, this is just a temporary password, basically single use. And what you should do as soon as you create this, as Paul will do here, he's going to hit submit.
Because if it's single use, I want to save the other one. Oh.
Got to enter them same twice. Okay, so what it's done here is you can see it's created the account. It's given you a place where you can log right in. You should go through this process as soon as you set it up. So he's going to click log into DebtBox. And as you can see, the first thing it does is it's asking you to change your password. So now you can change this to anything that you want.
Oh, it needs me to wait 2 minutes,
Okay.
giving me 2 minutes.
So this is a security feature put by DebtBox.
Mm-hmm.
It says 400 error. I'm not sure why they have that up there, but this is just, you do have to wait 2 minutes. from there. You don't have to click change your password again. It's just a 2-minute waiting period. Now, while we're waiting, Paul, if you click on the tab back to XNode dashboard, the one that's, yeah, right there. Close that down right there. So I want to, while we're waiting for that, I want to explain that this process is exactly the same if you have all created a DebtBox account outside of this process we just showed you, meaning you went directly to the debtbox.com or wherever you went and created that DebtBox account. What happens is it's not communicating with the IX Global side. So that process that Paul went through originally and showed you where it said create your account, that will migrate your account, your existing account that you created outside of the system, to DebtBox. The difference there is when it asks you to put your password in, that will be the it's not a temporary password, because we're basically merging the account, migrating it over to an IX account, and that password that you put in there is simply going to be your new password. It's not a temporary password. It's just you're creating a brand new password to log in. So then when you go and log in, you won't see that enter your old password, create a new password. It's simply, that's the password that you're using going forward. So that's just important. So it's just that simple. There's no reason to call in or submit a ticket to support, whether it's DebtBox support or IX support. This can be managed by you right in this back dashboard here.
Perfect.
Also, while we're waiting for that, you see the temp credentials button. It's gone. That's shown up. That button stays up there for 3 days. It won't stay up there indefinitely because it's only meant as a single use, right? You use it, you log in, you shouldn't need it again. So after 3 days, we remove that. So now if you forget, if you don't go right through the process and log in, it will disappear in 3 days, and then it creates more of an issue. So that's why we tell you log right in, because that will go away. We make the assumption that when you go back and set up your account, you're not going to wait 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days to continue setting up your account. We recommend you set up your account immediately.
Yeah, let me make the point with that too, Bob. So that goes for right after somebody's brand new, signed up, you've come into IX Global, you've made a purchase of whatever node you want to purchase. You're not done yet. You need to come immediately after you do that purchase, whether it's a rental, whether it's a perpetual, and come do this process. Don't leave. Don't go anywhere. You're not done yet. You need to be doing what we're teaching you right now. And once we'll go through it, then you're done. Okay. But not until you've gone through and set all this up.
Correct. So go back, Paul, to the account that was waiting. It said waiting 2 minutes. You should be able, I don't think it's going to let you change it because it's going to be a wrong password now, right? So if you click on that, oh, there you go. All right. So that's what it did. So you can,
I just had it sitting there waiting.
Click on it.
So
right.
Password set. Okay. Here's my T&C. Coming through all this, agree to my terms and conditions. Okay.
Okay. Now this is you're not done yet.
Right.
So this may be problematic on this account because
that
you have
might be
access to that
because I don't have access to that email. Yeah. So let me see if I can. Messaging Luke here as we speak as well, because obviously this is Luke who's helped me do this. So
there's sometimes confusion in this part. This part has nothing to do with 2FA, right? Two-factor authentication. This is specifically related to locking down your account with DebtBox. So the first thing they're going to ask you is for your you click send email, and it's going to send you a 6-digit token code. That, again, it has nothing to do with 2FA. We haven't set that up yet. This is going to send a 6-digit code to the email address that the account was created under, right? In this case, it's luke+6@ixglobal.us. So you have to check that. Very important, which is another topic, but I will just briefly say it right here. Many issues reported by DebtBox is incorrect email address. We have to make sure that the email address is the correct one. Sometimes people are forgetting if it's .com the O is missing or the M is missing, so it's .co, or there's a typo in there. And this actually starts all the way back at in the Academy site, right? If you've typed your email incorrectly when you signed up, or you changed it when you signed up and typed it incorrectly, it flows downstream. So the email should always be changed back in your Academy dashboard. That'll push it through all the way to the product side, which again, when the account is created, it has the right email address. So this is a known issue. Okay, so Paul obviously just got the email in his inbox. The next part of the verification is just that. You have to put a phone number in, and it's going to send you a text message with a 6-digit code. You want to do that, Paul?
I'll just do that. Okay, so I'll just put my phone number in here. And then...
This way everybody can call you now directly.
Exactly. I'm going to block all y'all if y'all try to call me. So you're aware. I mean,
and what you should be noticing is these messages come very, very quickly, right? So it's not like yes, you hit send email and you're waiting 20 minutes for it to come. Please be sure to check your spam folder, your junk folder, your promotions folder, and of course your original inbox. Everybody has different levels of account security set up in their email. And there's no way that DebtBox or even us, IX on our side, can control where your messages land, right? The best thing you can do is whitelist ixglobal.us or debtbox.com in your email with your email provider, right? You can do that right in the back end of your email account. That would allow those to come in just in case. So this now gets us to the next part, which is we know that lots of people are having issues with this 2FA, right? That's probably the second most common piece. So we're going to talk about that now. So two things, if you have, you don't have to use Authy, but that is the one that DebtBox is recommending. You could use Google Authenticator. It doesn't matter, but you can download it from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Paul is showing you Authy, the Authy app. So the first thing you would do is download that Authy app. That's the first thing. The next thing you're going to do is scan that QR code. That's way easier than manually entering the code. What that's going to do is make a secure connection between your phone and the DebtBox back end. So
should I do that right now? Bob, go through.
Yeah,
and
go ahead and do that, Paul.
Okay.
So Paul can show you. He'll have to hold his phone up to the screen just so you kind of see the process. But basically, you're going to once Authy is installed, you're going to have the ability. And Paul, when you open up yours,
so I'm going to show you here. When you open up in the top right, you'll see Add Account. So here, let me click off that here. So you see, then there's like just three dots. Click those 3 dots. I'm going to click Add Account. Then it's going to give me a thing to scan. So I'm going to click the thing to scan, and now I've got to scan this QR code. You can't see me do that, unfortunately. So now you see it's in there. It's come in, and I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm clicking the save button, and now I've got a 6-digit code to put in here, and it changes it's changing every 30 seconds. So I'm going to put in the code that I've got right now. There we go. So now I'm in.
Okay, now just that easy. Now, one thing when Paul said, hey, it's going to generate a new code every 30 seconds. Don't enter the code if you have 5 seconds or less, because the likelihood of it changing, then you're going to get an error, and then you're going to have to wait again. There's nothing on the XNode side that is an issue. It's best practice is just wait till it gets back to 30 seconds. Give yourself plenty of time so you're not rushed, and enter that code. But you can see at this point, we are done. We have made a secure connection. We've verified our email address. We've verified our phone number that's connected to this account. And we've set up two-factor authentication, 2FA commonly referred to, and you see how quick and easy that was. It's exactly the same whether you have an iPhone or an Android. Now, there have been issues sometimes where people will, as an example, if Paul was to go back, I'm not going to tell him to do this. If Paul was to go back right now and delete that 2FA in Authy, the app, he was to delete the source of the XNode side, the Debtbox side, he's broken the connection. And you cannot simply just re-add it. At that point, you won't be able to turn off you'll be you won't be locked out of your account, but you will have to call, send a message to Debtbox support, and they will provide a form, and they will reset, they will basically remove the 2FA from your account, and you'll have to go back through that process that we just showed you again to reconnect it, because it's broken the connection. And that process, Debtbox has a very specific process. You have to write in, and then they will send you back via email a form to sign requesting removal of 2FA, that you're telling them to remove it, and then you'll be able to put it right back on. Do not wait. Don't wait. As soon as you get that email, send it, they'll remove it, go right back into your account and set up the 2FA again.
So Bob, let me ask you a question here. As a brand new person, I just made an order. I followed all your steps, and then I come in here into rewards, and I don't see my license. What's going on?
Okay, so great question. If you don't see your license, let's go back to the dashboard. We don't have an order in there right now, but go back to your
No,
website.
there's no order on this account.
Yeah, so go back to your XNode dashboard.
Oh, sorry,
that was my fault. So you'll see multiple tabs here, and we might as well just explain these in case they haven't been. If you've got payment, perpetual, rental, and pending. And basically, payment, excuse me, payment is set up when you have made a purchase in the products, from the product side there. It'll show up there if you have a pending payment that needs to be completed. So right there, that would show you, oh, I can purchase. I went and I clicked on a purchase in this back end. Right now, there's nothing available to be purchased in the back end. But if there was, that would show up and you'd be able to go through and complete the payment. What happens is then you have any licenses you own if they're perpetual licenses, you can click on the perpetual tab, they would show up there. If they're rental licenses, they would show up there. As long as they are mining. Let's say that in this instance, you had purchased a license before setting up your Debtbox account, either before or it was created outside of the system. It's going to show up in pending, in the pending state under that pending tab, due to the fact that we can't assign it unless you have a Debtbox ID, and unless we know what that Debtbox ID is, meaning we have the connection with the Debtbox team, or the Debtbox system. So it would show up there. So you may log in and not see it, but you would see it under pending every time. If you log in and you've placed an order and you do not see it in your XNode account, I would say this. One, make sure that you are actually logged into the correct XNode account. That's another topic, but let's assume you are. You don't see it there and you don't see it under your pending tab. Please, as quickly as possible, open a support ticket and we will get that corrected for you. There's lots of things that could happen. It doesn't happen very often if we look at all the transactions we do, but there are times when a license does not get assigned for a variety of reasons between all the systems that we're communicating back and forth to. Sometimes it gets missed on the Academy side where it doesn't actually get sent over. Again, it happens very infrequently, but it can. There's times when we make a connection from our side to Debtbox and something errors out. We have things in place that run every 30 minutes and or every hour that will re-trigger and look. So it sometimes you may log in and you may not see it, but it will show up within a half an hour or an hour. And if it does not, then again, that's when you'd want to reach out to support. And it's something that we would have to manually fix for you on a case-by-case basis. But this is not common, but it does happen.